Hi guys, Chris here at Purely Outdoors, and today we're reviewing a brand new driveway awning from Vango. So this is the Versos Air Low. Okay, this is the most versatile awning that I've seen in the industry, let alone from Vango. The configurations are pretty much endless on this. There's 18 different combinations. So we'll get into how and why you might want to change that, change those variations as we get through the video. But in essence, the awning is similar to the Cove, what we've done a review on already, where you've got a main living space of the awning and then an integrated canopy. So you've got this really nice integrated canopy section and then a 2.5 by 2.5 meter main awning space. So with that just aside, if you didn't want to use, as you can see, the annex at the rear, it's a really good spacious awning. But if you then got a need for either storage or sleeping, you can simply zip in the annex that comes included with it. And it's just got a fiberglass pole at the rear. So the main frame of the awning's air, but then you've just got a fiberglass annex in there as well. So we talked about the versatility. Let's go through that a little bit more. So as you can see, the canopy's fully sewn in, but then the tunnel and the annex can be zipped in and out into each of these 3 panels here. So if you wanted the awning to face the same way as the vehicle on a campsite, you can do that just as we've sort of shown here. Then have the annex at the rear. If you wanted the awning to be outward facing, so away from the van, you can tailor the tunnel so it turns the awning round effectively, and then you can position the annex on either side. Or if you've got a California or a European van, you could have it face into the rear of the vehicle and actually pitch it on either side of the van. So loads of different options, and I think they've really brought that in depending on what campsite you're at, where the best view is on site. You can then position your awning to suit that. So really clever design, real fan of this one. We've talked about the main awning body and the canopy. Let's talk about the annex now. So as we said, this zips into either of the 3 panels. You've got 1.2 meters of depth, so good amount of size for a double airbed, and you've just got the 1 fiberglass pole. In terms of an overview of the main exterior features of the awning, we'll talk about fabric now. So they've included the Versos into their Sentinel 150D range this year. So 150 denier fabric, 4,000 mil hydrostatic head, really robust, really waterproof fabric. And they've also included their new Colorlock Eco manufacturing process on that. So it's really sustainable, uses less water in the dyeing processes as we've seen on other models. And the Colorlock means that the color retention of the awning and the longevity of the awning is longer than we've seen on previous awning models. So you're making sure that fabric, the color, is looking crisper for longer. So really nice fabric there from Vango. They've also gone back to their traditional colorway of the 2-tone grey with the orange accent. So I think it's looking really smart from an aesthetics point of view. Okay, in terms of inflation, so as we said before, it's the Versos Air. So you've got a single point inflation for the main body of the awning. So it's similar to the Hexaway model where you've got a cross-beamed air beam at the top, fully pre-angled, really nice and tall. That then distributes the air around the main frame of the awning. Then we've got a separate valve to pump up the canopy there as well. And then as we mentioned before, a simple, very simple fiberglass pole that threads through on the annex. And there you go, the awning is fully pitched. So you're looking around 13 minutes to get this one fully pitched from bag onto the van. So a real good awning for tourers where the awning might be put up and down. You've got that flexibility. As well as the annex, you can pitch that as and when it's needed. So loads of flexibility in there as well. Okay, so we've talked about fabric, we've talked about the inflation system. In terms of ventilation, because we know how important that is on awnings, you've got these really nice meshed lined windows here. So loads of ventilation. You've got a hooded vent on the annex as well, so making it a really nice, comfortable sleeping area too. We're going to pop inside the Versos now and we'll talk through some of the interior features as well as having a look into the annex. Okay guys, so inside the Versos Air now, and we'll start with the canopy area first. So as you can see, a really nice light and spacious place. You've got the 2 side windows, really nice and large, so diamond clear windows, lets a lot of light into the awning. This space perfect for sort of storing wet gear, shoes, and just really nice little rain protection area to the awning. So as we take a step back, so we've we folded back each of the panels here. So as you can see, they either fold to the left or the right. Each panel has either mesh lining, a window, and then a zip-up curtain as well. So depending on which configuration you want on each panel, you can tailor it to as you see fit. So we're in the main section of the awning now. First thing I think you note with the cross beam air beams in the center, just how much head height you have in here. It's a really spacious place, very similar to the hex. It feels in terms of the panels and the head height. But the great thing is you've got this annex to zip in as well, which obviously the hex doesn't. So as you can see, we've zipped in the annex to the rear here. We've got a clip-in inner bedroom, so it's a darkened inner, so perfect for sleeping. Or if you don't need it as a sleeping space, you just want more storage, you can simply clip that out, and then it's a great place to store bikes or further wet gear or anything that you need. As we then move to the right-hand side, you can see we've obviously positioned the tunnel in here. So it's 1 metre deep in terms of the tunnel area, so further space for further storage. And you've got access doors on either side, so great for wheelchairs or prams getting into the vehicle from double access points there. From a ground sheet perspective, fully sewn in, and again, a really easy access ground sheet, so no lips on there, so really easy to get in and out of the awning. In terms of the height of the vehicle, so the Versos, they brought that out in a low and a mid model. So the one we're in here is the low, so that fits any van from 180 to 210 high, so your T5, T6 Transporter or your Ford Transit. And then they brought in the mid height for more Peugeot Boxsters and Mercedes Sprinters. So they're becoming more and more popular on the market. They've brought out a model that can fit those vehicles as well. So big spectrum of vehicles that this awning can fit. And I think the real sort of conclusion I'd take away from the Versos Air is if you're looking for an awning where you can really tailor it yourself depending on the views, depending on where you are in the country, what campsite, you've got all of the flexibility that you may need. Like you said, you can get into a habit of pitching it the one way, but then if you're on a different site, you've got that flexibility. So that's what I love about the Versos, and I do think this awning will set a principle potentially in the industry where other manufacturers might look to create a similar version. So really great awning. As always, if you've got any questions on it, please feel free to drop them in the comments below. But thanks so much for watching.